ពេលវេលាគឺចេះតែដើរទៅមុខទុកឲ្យខ្ញុំនៅឯការាល់ថ្ងៃញញឹមមិនមែនគ្មានបញ្ហា
Welcome to មេរៀនទី 2. This is the second lesson for learning the Khmer language. So let's get started. Let's review very quickly what we talked about first in lesson 1. If you haven't seen lesson 1, I would suggest you go ahead and take a look at that first. Alright. Well, so what we learned in lesson 1, and again, if you look at these 5 bullets here and there's a particular area you're not very clear on, I would suggest you go back and watch the video again. And of course, you're more than welcome to leave comments, suggestions, questions, and about the material itself, or about the videos, and I'll be sure to get back with you as soon as possible. Number 1, we talked about strong and weak consonants. And so each consonant in Cambodia or in Khmer itself can be divided into strong or weak, these two categories. And again, strong or weak is also referred to as first and second series, whereas a strong consonant would be a first series consonant and a weak consonant is a second series consonant. These are just two different names for the categories. So depending on what type of consonant it is and which of the two categories the consonant falls in, then we will know what correlating vowel sound or what innate vowel sound goes with the consonant. So there's two innate vowel sounds that will go with consonants in Khmer. One is all, one is It's just a matter of memorization. All right. And again, you can go back to lesson 1 and take a more in-depth look at that. Number 3, the ending consonants. Very simple. The chart was provided in lesson 1. It's a matter of memorization. Number 4, subconsonants. Is just to review. Is just when you put two consonants together in Cambodian, the second consonant that's pronounced will be written in a different script. It still carries the same rules. It's still pronounced the same way, but it's written in a different script or a different letter form. That letter form is called a subconsonant, and that'll go sometimes before or below the first consonant or the consonant that's pronounced first. Number 5 here, we use the string chart for words with subconsonants. All right. So it's just if we have our consonant and then a subconsonant next to each other, well, sometimes consonants can be divided into two categories, correct? Well, each category has different innate vowel sounds. So what happens if the innate vowel sounds are different? Well, the stronger consonant will always win. Well, how do you know which one's the stronger consonant? Well, you use the string chart to do that. All right? So let's do some practice really quick. The string chart as a quick review. Oh. Well, let's do the practice with the string chart a little bit. Sorry, I forgot I added this as well. This is also a quick review where you place the vowels in Khmer script or using Khmer words. In the middle right here, if you recognize this consonants, go, and just combinations of where you can place the vowels itself. And again, this is talked more in depth in lesson 1. Today is just a quick refresher, if you will. Yes, okay. And with all words, the actual consonant is pronounced first if the consonant is available. The consonant will also and will always determine the vowel sound. Alright, the consonants right here. Also from lesson 1. As you see, I added in the IPA here. And again, my suggestion is when you're learning Khmer, if you're serious about it, to go by the IPA. It's, in my opinion, much more accurate. Also, a lot of material that is used in Cambodia itself for teaching Khmer uses the IPA itself for romanization. Taking a look at the vowels now, if you remember, the vowels are two initial vowel sounds that correlate with each of the two categories of consonants. And what you've seen here is we have the two consonants, the strong and the weak, or the first and second series, with the first at the top and second at the bottom. All right, the initial consonant sound will be the same. We're using ga and gu, as you can see from the top left of each of these categories. Alright, and depending, the vowel script will be the same, but depending on which consonant you use, which series it belongs to, the vowel sound will be different. And unfortunately, this also is just a matter of memorization itself. There's not really a lot of shortcuts here. It's a matter of memorization of the chart itself. The more Khmer script you read, the more this will become more natural. Alright. The subconsonants here, I put it in red. This chart is provided the subconsonants in red, just so you can see which subconsonant correlates to which consonant itself. Alright, review exercises. Here we go. There they are. Alright. So we can see on the top left how we read each word. As always, the consonant comes first. The consonant will determine the vowel sound, alright, which comes after. We also add another part here, subconsonants, from lesson 1, and then last we'll consider the ending consonant sound. So if you see the first one here, we have 2 letters, and again we can go up to the top and actually check what we have right here. If we go to our consonant chart and see, alright, if I can find it right here. Oh, can't see, we can see the mouse. If you see on the 4th column at the very bottom, we have an R sound, and then we'll see that, well, I don't have my ending consonant sheet with me, but the ending consonant here is a gaw. It ends in a K sound. So I can put those 2 together. I don't see a vowel in the middle. And if I don't see a vowel in a word, it just means the initial consonant will carry its initial vowel sound. Alright? So that leaves me with a rok. Just means to look for something, like Waldo, if you're old enough to remember Waldo from back in the day, looking for Waldo. So rok, to look for. Next, second one here, see what we have here. So we can go back to our chart. Up here in the consonant chart, the first consonant I see, so I found the chart here. Here we go. In the third column here, 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Let's see on do. All right. I also see there's a subconsonant with that. I'm looking at the subconsonant chart now. So what's subconsonant with that? Oh, here we go. The 4th column at the very bottom here, bu. All right. So here we go. Oh, I could go to that again. Sorry about that. Here. Oh, there's the answer. Here we go. So I can see the T sound here and the V. So I have 2 consonants there together. Alright. So this this do and this bo sound. Well, which one will come first? Well, I'm looking at the chart here, and I see the bo is represented here by the beta with the T at the very bottom. I'm using the IPA here of the string scale. Is much weaker than the T sound that's present here. So that means the V will win. Alright, so that's fine. I can use the string chart for that, or also as a shortcut, I know that po and bo both belong to the same series. They're both weak, or they're both second series, so there's no competition here. So the vowel sound is going to be pronounced the same no matter what. Alright, I see the vowel here. The vowel here is right here. And we're using a second series because the v and p are both second series here. So I can see, let's see, 1, 2 over in the second series. Ia, it's pronounced as ia. Alright, the very ending consonant here is from the very top. You can also see is r, is an R sound. And if you remember our lessons, if you've been following with the Khmer lessons itself, when R is placed at the end of a word, it is not pronounced. There's actually it's carried over from very old or ancient Khmer, very old or ancient Khmer language where it used to be pronounced, but in modern day it's not pronounced anymore. So we're just going to ignore that. It's just in the word, but it's not important anymore. So with that being said, we can know what the word is itself, tvia, which just means a door. Alright, so moving on to the next one now. Here we go, and I won't keep going back and forth. You guys can do that if you want to. This one right here, we have a tall sound. Alright, add it on. Let's see. What do we have? Picture 4th and fly. Alright, so make sure everyone's aware. What we did here is we compared the 2, the tall, and then we have an L sound, lo, at the very bottom. These are two different series of consonants, so we need to see which one is stronger. So I looked at the chart, and I see, oh, my T, my aspirated T sound, tall, is much more stronger than the L sound, which is weaker. Alright, so that T sound wins. And so if I look at the vowel chart with this vowel that's represented here on the far left, then it will pronounce as I. So fly, which just means expensive. Alright, and the very last one here at the very bottom, we have a lo, we have a ha at the very bottom as well. So we put these 2 together, la hong, which just means a papaya. Alright. Alright, it should be very simple. In the same way, I'm just looking at the chart here to see which one's strong and which one's weaker. The L sound here, lo, is a second series consonant, which is fine. Your ha, below that is a first series consonant, so they're going to compete. They're different series, so they're going to compete together. So we need to see which one's stronger. And if I look at the chart here, the L is stronger than the H. Lo will beat Haw, and so the L consonant wins. Alright, perfect. And then right below the Haw, you see that sound at the very bottom right here. So that's just the innate vowel, or not the innate vowel sound, excuse me, the vowel sound that goes along with this word. Alright? So hopefully it should be a pretty comprehensive review. Alright, everyone should have a pretty good idea of how to use the strength scale itself. Moving on, the two main purposes of the strength scale, and again, to my knowledge, the IPA strength scale is the only strength scale available. So another benefit of using the IPA system when learning Khmer. Alright, number one, we use the strength scale itself to determine when two consonants are placed together, which consonant to use. When two consonants are placed together, the second consonant pronounced has to be written in subconsonant form, correct? Alright, and if the consonant and the subconsonant are of different series, one is weak and one is strong, one is first, one is second series, then they'll carry different corresponding vowel sounds. Alright, so if you have a vowel, then you know, well, which corresponding vowel sound do I need to use? So the consonants will duke it out. The consonants will fight, alright, to see which vowel sound is used. So you need to know which consonant is stronger. The stronger consonant will win. And to know which consonant to use or which vowel sound to pronounce, we look at the strength scale. Alright, and that's what we've been doing here in the first lesson and to review. So hopefully everyone's clear on that. Number two, the strength scale is also used to determine how to pronounce two-syllable words. Alright, so let's take a closer look at that. Alright, so using the strength scale for two-syllable words, starting off with the consonants of the first and second syllable of the word belong to the same series, so both of them are first series, or both are second series, both are strong and weak, then the pronunciation rules don't change. So what this basically means is that then you do not need to use the strength chart itself. You can just use the simple vowel chart that was provided in lesson 1, and then you're okay. So looking at the first word here, we have two law consonants. Alright, so la. And the vowels that are pronounced here are just in accordance with the vowel chart itself. Alright, we didn't use the strength scale at all, and the reason for that is the first syllable consonant law and the second syllable consonant law are the same. They're both first series consonants. Alright, so la just means something very loud, something very rambunctious, and so we have a word right there. Awesome. And look at the second one here on the right. Failure just means time. Alright, you can see the first consonant there is v. The second one l. Alright, both are second series consonants. Alright, so both are of the same series. If they're the same series, the same thing as before with consonants and subconsonants, then they will not compete with each other. Alright, so we can just use the simple vowel chart and we're good to go. Alright, moving on to the second rule of two-syllable words. If the initial consonants are the initial consonants of a first and second syllables belong to different series, one's a first series, one's a second series, or one's strong, one's weak. If the first syllable consonant is a first series one and is stronger than the second syllable consonant, then the second syllable consonant will become a first series one. And my apologies, I've written this a little bit confusing. You may have to read this once or twice. Alright, what this basically is saying here is if my first consonant carries the initial aw as a first series or as a strong consonant, then my second syllable consonant is a second series one. Then the second series one, if it's weaker than the first series, will lose. It will be pronounced as a first series consonant. Alright? And this will just take a little bit of time to sink in, unfortunately. I provided 3 examples here. You can see the C1, C2 at the very bottom here just corresponds to Series 1 and Series 2, our consonant Series 1, consonant Series 2. Alright, so the first one here is we have Salah, which just means school. Alright? And so what happens here, to break it down very quickly, you can see the consonant here is saw. Alright, the second syllable consonant here is l. Alright, so we have an S consonant and an L consonant. Alright? The vowel we see right here is a is the vowel sound. Alright? So putting them together, the first syllable we know is going to be sa. That's fine. The second syllable, we're going to look at our strength chart, because this S here and this L, they're of 2 different series, so they're going to compete. Not like the first row here. These are different series, so they're going to compete against each other. So I'm going to look at my strength chart to see which one's stronger, who's going to win. All right. So, and again, we're competing with two-syllable words. You're fighting over the second syllable vowel. That's also very, very important. You're fighting over the second syllable vowel here, not the first syllable. All right. And so I'm looking at my strings right here. Your S, I can see the S is strong on the first one here. L is weaker, so S wins. Alright? And this is not consonant subconsonant. This is first, second syllable. So these are different rules. And so, okay, my S wins. That means that the L, the second series consonant, will be pronounced as a first series consonant. Alright, so the vowel will be pronounced as a first series vowel, or as it would be with a first series consonant. Alright? So thus you have salah. Good. Perfect. Second one here, we have bamaral, which just means to wait on someone. Sort of like a niek bamaral is a waiter. Alright? And again, we have two combinations here. The first, you can see the first one here is the B sound. Alright, that's a first series. Alright, the second one here, we have a which is a second series. So we have two different series consonants. So they can compete against each other. So I'm going to look at my chart here and see, well, I see B on the first column right here. R is weaker on the second column. Alright, so R is stronger. So according to my rules here, since B is a first series consonant, R is the second series consonant, B wins. So R must be pronounced, or the vowel that goes along with R must be pronounced as if it was a first series consonant. Alright? Hopefully that's clear. And again, if you have any comments or suggestions and whatnot, please leave in the comments section. I'm trying to do my best to explain this. Unfortunately, it's a little bit difficult to explain. But in time, it becomes very natural. The rules may seem a lot when you're first starting. Give yourself a month or two and the rules will seem very natural. When you read the script, it would just make sense. Next, my last example here is just jump B, which is it's used a lot in combinations with other words. For example, jump B muk would just mean directly opposite to. For example, the store is directly opposite from the hospital. As in that sense. As we see, the jaw is a first series consonant. Second one here we have B is just your second series consonant. Alright? And so the two are going to compete because they're from different series. Alright, so I'm looking at my chart right here. I can see, let's see, I can see weaker, weaker. Remember in the IPA, the J sound is written as a C. So I see, whoa, C is on the very, very, very weakest, the far right of second column. So that's really weak. So that means even though this jaw, or this J sound written as a C in IPA is a first series consonant, it's still weaker. So it loses. So that means the second syllable here, even though it's a second series, it wins because it's stronger. It's stronger. We see B. We actually see it's actually the strongest if I look at my scale right here. So it wins. And so that means the vowel sound is E, sort of E, sort of A, but it's pronounced here as the E because it's the second consonant, second series consonant, wins. Alright? So it just means it retains its initial corresponding vowel sound. So we can just use the simple vowel chart for this one, and that's what I did. And there you go, and you have the pronunciation itself. Alright? So hopefully everyone's somewhat clear of this, and we can move on to the next step here. Alright, now we're going to take a look at the Cambodian script symbols or marks that are associated with the Cambodian script. I'm sure if you take a look at Khmer script, you spend time in Cambodia, and you'll notice apart from consonants and vowels and subconsonants, there's also marks up and above and below the the script itself. Alright, so what do these marks mean? We're going to take a look now at the most common mark, which is the Bon Tok. Now, the Bon Tok is placed above the final consonant and only above the final consonant. And its purpose, if it's initial first series, then its purpose will always be to shorten the vowel sound itself. So it's just going to shorten the vowel. Alright, so we're looking, I have some examples here, and if you look at the initial consonant, it's always a first series consonant. So it'll always clear the initial aw sound. Alright, so look at the first one here, we have cha, cha, and so these are short vowel sounds. So initially, I see this as jaw, ah, and the initial or the final final consonant t. So initially this would be ja, ja, right? Alright, but I see there's a mark over the final consonant, so I'm going to change to, it's not going to be ja anymore, it's going to be ja. Alright? So if you're a Chinese speaker, it's similar to the fourth tone in Chinese, a very fallen, short, aspirated tone. All right, so just a short vowel sound. All right. Secondly, got to cut something, as in got smile, to cut grass. Next, and the last example here is just dot, dot, and again, without the mark, this would be dot. So with the mark, dot. All right. So just to place the importance of determining a long or short vowel would be the purpose of the mark. All right, so there you go. There's a couple of examples here. With first series consonants, your simple mark, your Bon Tok, over the final consonant just means it's going to go from a long vowel sound to a short vowel sound. All right, moving on. All right, here's where it becomes fun. All right, Bon Tok. If it's used with your second series, then it becomes a little bit more interesting. So when a Bon Tok is placed above a final consonant in a word initiated with a second series consonant, the vowel can be affected in one of three ways. All right, here we go. So take a look at number one. If there is no vowel in the word is changed to a short vowel sound from the inherent long vowel sound. So if you remember, each category of consonants will carry an innate long vowel sound. And I'm sorry to keep repeating this and stretching this. It's very important. All right, so for example, we see here the first example on the left right here. All right, you see that tall, tall. All right, so it carries the initial all sound. So we have the B or ball at the very end here. So in the end, if it serves as a final consonant, it serves as a P sound. All right, so tall, tall would be the word that's produced. We have a mark over the B though, and so that means it's going to be shortened. So tall, tall. All right, so it's just pronounced quickly and with a slight drop to it. We call that the short vowel sound, and it just means to stop. And the second one here, to, just means to barricade or to defend. All right. Number two, if the Bon Tok is placed above a final K. Excuse me, it's placed a final K. Sorry, it should be placed above a final K in a word starting with the second series and followed by, if the initial consonant is followed by a vowel, then that a vowel will change to a eh. All right. So let's see some examples here. Number one. First, we're going to see when I look at a word here. First, I'm going to see the initial consonant. Is it a first or second series? All right. So I see it's a second series. All right. If it's a second series, okay. Is there a mark? Yes or no? Yes, there is a mark. All right. So that's going to change the vowel. All right. So there's a mark here. I see we're using the a vowel. So I'm using the a vowel. There's also a mark. So that, according to my rule here, that a vowel is going to change to an eh. So that just means to attract something. To attract something. All right. The examples here are dek, and bet, which corresponding to attract, something that's clear, certain, are to wear something. To wear. All right. So hopefully everyone's pretty clear on that. Number three, Bon Tok is placed above a final consonant in a word starting with the second series consonant followed by a, then it becomes an OA. All right. And the difference here is in the final consonant. Remember, in the rule number 2, the final consonant has to be the gall consonant right here. If it's not the gall consonant, but you're still using the a vowel and the initial consonant is the second series, then your vowel sound will become or. All right. So we can see the first one here, duan, which just means on time. Duan, which means a floor or to step on, and then duat, just to kick something, like to kick a soccer ball. All right. And again, it seems like a lot of rules that you had to memorize off the top. Command script is actually very easy. It's just a matter of getting through the initial memorization, and then you'll be good to go. Alright, just take a look at the examples that are provided here, stressing the importance between long and short vowels. Alright, number one, we have dong, just means to tie up. The second one here, dong, just means to won't. Alright, so dong. The differences here, gat, and da. Alright, so just so you know, when I see a mark, it's going to become short if it's a first series initial consonant, and it will mean a different word. So make sure you get your long and short vowels pronunciation very clear. It's just simply the length of the vowel itself. Also, your short vowels tend to drop a little bit. Right, moving on to the second script, we see here the second mark. This is referred to as Khmer Gandao, which just means the rat's teeth in Khmer, and it's referred to as rat's teeth because it actually sort of looks a little bit like rat's teeth. Yes. So, all right, there are two purposes for this mark. When it's above a second series consonant, it changes the second series. Second series consonants, remember, have an initial O sound. It changes them to a first series. Now, first series consonants have the initial O sound. All right. So it should be very clear here. So what it does, it changes a second series to a first series. Boom. So we got that very clear. Number one. So we look here, the first one here, but mo, right? All right. So mo, it's a second series. So it means the M sound is changing that actually to a first series. So it's no longer going to be mo, it's going to be ma, ma. All right. That's good. So it means we're going to use first series rules, not second series. First series, because the rat's teeth mark is over the initial second series consonant. So that makes it a first series consonant. All right. So that means we can pronounce this ma, ma. All right. First series consonant. We see that we also have a Bon Tok over the final consonant. So that means it's a first series. There's a Bon Tok over this over the final consonant. All right. And again, we're breaking this up into two words here. And so that means it's going to be shortened. It's not going to be long. It's going to be a short vowel sound. So that means ma, ma. Perfect. First syllable done. Second syllable. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. And again here, the reason why we were able to break this up is if you remember our rules from before using the strength scale. And again, I'm doing this in my mind. My apologies. If you have time to actually take the strength scale and the vowel charts out and look at them or glance at them while I talk, it may be a little bit more beneficial. Is once this your Khmer Gandao, or your rat's teeth, is over the M, the second series consonant here, it becomes a first series. So first series consonant initially plus your second syllable here, the jaw, is also first series. So there's no competition. All right. So we're able to break this up this way. This is a two-syllable word, but because of the rat's teeth, we'll change the second series to a first series. It means the initial consonant is first series. The second syllable initial consonant is also first series. All right. So it just means we can look at our vowel chart and okay, no need to use the straight scale. All right. So that's what I'm doing here. So initially we have a ma. Second we have a jaw. All right. There's also a a mark above the final T sound over here. So okay, the Bon Tok above the final T sound. So that means it's no longer going to be a long sound. It's going to be a short sound. So drop. So we're putting together ma drop. Just means careful or carefully to do something. Next, secondly, let's see, we have ra, which is the second series. All right, that's fine. Second series, a. Let's see. All right, it's the vowel itself, and then we have a p final or b final consonant sound. It can be written as a b or p. I wrote it as a b here for whatever reason. Let's see. Okay, and we also have a rat's tooth over the initial R sound here. So that means it's no longer a second series, because ro is second series, correct? No, it's a first series. It's going to be treated as a first series consonant. All right, great. All right, so we're going to look at our vowel chart with the first series consonant. Ro, how is this vowel pronounced? Well, it's pronounced as a. Perfect. So ra, ra. We have a first series consonant here, and we have if we have a Bon Tok over the final consonant, and it's a first series consonant initially, that means it's no longer a long vowel, it's a short vowel. All right, so that, perfect. To guarantee something, or to take the responsibility for something. Awesome. The second rule here is when this mark, the rat's teeth mark, is placed above a ba consonant. And when it's placed above the consonant, the sound changes from a ba to a b sound. So it changes from the actual B sound to a P sound. And be careful, this P is not an aspirated P. It's when you pronounce the B here, you're actually intaking air. Whereas if you pronounce the P sound, you're actually not. Alright? And so if we look at the first one here, we have ball, which is initially was a first series. There's no changes here. If it was a second series, we'd have to change it to a first series, but it's already a first series, so we're good here. It's over the ball consonant, so it's no longer pronounced as ball, it's pronounced as p. It's oh, ba. So it just means to touch something. Perfect. Great. Alright. And the second here, let's see, we're going to work it out. Alright, so we have my initial ball. That's the Khmer Gandao, or the rat's teeth, which means okay. So it's going to be pronounced as a actual, pronounced as a P sound right here. Alright, so we have my initial vowel, so at the very bottom here. plus my second word as well. Alright, so Bon Tok, and which just means channel, as in a television channel or radio channel or station. Alright? So again, these rules are just a matter of memorization. It seems a little bit daunting at first. In my third lesson, I hope to finish the actual rules themselves, and then once you memorize all those, you'll be good to go. You'll be reading newspapers in no time. Alright? Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave any comments, suggestions, one at the bottom. And yes, well, thank you very much.